What's up, y'all? Got this 2025 Trax. I'm going to be replacing the front two-door speakers on. And here's everything that I'm going to use to do it. This should make it relatively easy. I got these kickers, CSCs, 6 3/4. Crutchfield says that you can use these with these adapters. There's the part number for the adapters if you want to get them somewhere else. And then here's the part number for the little harness adapters that you use for your factory, so you don't have to splice or cut anything up. I believe, based off what I saw on the speaker, you have to cut these little tabs off for this size speaker to fit in there, because usually you're going to do 6 1/2s, but these should fit on here just fine, so long as you do a little modification, which I'll just use some pliers to cut up. So yeah, let's get started. Alright, so first thing you're going to do is you're going to take off this little plastic cover right here. I'm just using this little, like, eyeglass kind of screwdriver. Do your best not to damage the plastic. It's pretty soft and you'll leave little scratches everywhere, but I mean, if you don't mind little things here and there, that's fine. For this cover right here, you're going to want to go in from this top corner and kind of just push this in there, and it should come right out. There you go. See? If you go in from the bottom, you got to be careful because these latch go down, so if you try to come from the bottom, you might snap these little teeth on the bottom. So coming from the top anywhere, you should be okay. And then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to remove that little 7mm and that little 7mm behind that little plastic piece, and then we'll start popping the door off. One little note: do not rotate this off first before you start prying the door, but once you take that piece off, literally I just pulled on this bottom part. Alright, so I got the door panel removed. Be careful not to break it away all the way, because you have your door latch assembly here and this wire. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove that wire, and then I'm going to work on pulling that assembly off, which is pretty simple, just a little bracket. Alright, once you got that first wire off and little assembly there, I want to pull this off. Another wire harness right here. Make sure you pull, there's like a white clip, like a tab. It's a little bit more in. I already pulled it out, but push it down and that'll allow you to push this release tab in, and then it should come out. Might not be able to do it with one hand, but you get the drift. Easy peasy, guys. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off that 7mm. I think it's a 7, and then that's it. This should be able to break away. I'll undo the tab and then I'll go in reverse order, but I'll show you guys that last part once I take the speaker off and then put everything back together. Alright, so I got the speaker mounted already on there. It's nice and flush. As you can tell, I did have to break these little tabs off. So if you see these little tabs that stick out, basically just grab some pliers, hold on to the very edge of it, and just bend it up and down. The tabs will all break off, and then it'll allow the speaker to sit flush. I just drilled a couple little pilot holes where I was going to put my screws so the plastic didn't break. Put them in there. Be careful not to over tighten it. At the end of the day, it is plastic still, so you don't want to strip it or break it, but did that, tightened it by hand with a screwdriver after I got good ways down, and it's on there nice and tight. Add more screws if you like, but I'm okay with 4. And then it's pretty straightforward. I got my speakers gonna sit in there nice and flush, and then all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna install a little harness that I showed you guys earlier. I'm gonna put that on now. I'll put this down so it fits in there nice and easy. That's your little locking mechanism for your harness, and then you literally just hook it up. White is going to be your positive, black's going to be your negative on the back of the speaker here. It's color coded for you, so yeah, should be easy. And maybe even the connectors are different sizes. Yep. So your negative is always going to be that skinnier one. Positive is always going to be a little bit wider, a little bit fatter. So it's kind of hard to screw it up. But yeah, that's it. Put it all back. Put your 7mm screw. This sits in there. Just kind of hooks in there. Put it back. I'm going to end up putting some insulation back here on the skin of the door that I got on Amazon. Probably just pull this off. It's just kind of glued. It'll go back on there pretty easy. It's tape. And insulate the door, and then I'll put everything in reverse order. But yeah, that's simple, guys. I'm very excited to see how it sounds. Feel free to ask any questions.